Wait, what? What is this?
All right. Oh, yeah, exactly. Wait, what? What is this? You don't even know. You aren't even ready.
What? This is
Exactly.
not early.
Oh, yes, it is.
He, what, Jason and Golden Go. What Florges? This is last season.
This is not last season. This match happened a few days ago.
Not in this league, then.
In this league, in the singles tournament. We're watching a singles
Oh,
match to start.
oh, it's gross.
No, it's fun. Uh, Announcements. Uh,
So gross.
I'm gonna do it in video plugs. We are live, by the way. Uh,
Look,
uh,
let me tell everyone then. Singles is so dumb. Oh my god. Lord Almighty.
Alrighty, so as
I have to pull up the stream so that I have chat. Okay, so
yeah, I just had to check that too. Looks like we got Heaven in right on time. Should have some other people
vanilla.
hopping in.
I like that you have vanilla on there.
Did I have vanilla? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one you used,
White
so that's the one I did. Yeah,
White Florges.
White Florges. All right,
Orange
we'll
one
let
will be mango.
see if a
Red one
couple
will be
people are
strawberry.
gonna hop in here. You got what?
Orange will be mango. Red will be strawberry. It'd be good. I don't know what blue will be yet. That's gonna be. We'll cross that when we get there.
I don't know either. Alrighty. So the plan is, I was telling you a little bit before we went live, and we'll just kind of chat for a second before, like, see who's gonna pop in and watch live. But the plan is we're going to watch a couple of individual games, and then we're gonna watch one set.
Set of the week.
The set of the week that was pretty uh, like unambiguously, people were like, this is a crazy set, this is a cool set, and I agree, so we're gonna watch it.
This is a good week. Good week one.
Yeah, it was a solid week one. All right, so
Also, both Daddy and I love Go-To, which is good.
and we're watching one of both of your matches. All right, so we're starting with. We got a couple people in now. We can go ahead and start it. We're starting with Jace versus Electric in the singles draft that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And this, don't worry, you'll love it. Okay. I promise. It's fun. It's a very cool.
I like Jason Electric. If any two people will make me like singles, it will be them.
Well, it's also Steve's favorite singles match of all time. Is what he was saying earlier.
Interesting.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and so this is singles. So you and I both know basically nothing about it, right?
Yes, of course.
I know there's not enough protect, too many moves that just set hazards and don't do anything real. And
I agree.
I'm sure no singles players will find that reductive or disingenuous.
Basically, if you play singles, stop and play a real format.
Come on now. Don't say mean things, or at least if you do, make sure it's dripping in sarcasm so people know you're not being serious.
If anyone thought that was serious, that's on them.
All right, so we do have two teams that make sense also as VGC teams, but these are both singles teams.
A little bit. I think they make sense as single teams in the sense that like Incin and Golden Guard are just like good Pokemon. As is Ogerpon, I suppose.
Well, VGC draft teams. How about that?
Yeah, and the Sand Boys can be on the field at the same time, but like, you know, it's weird to have a very weird, I would even say, to have a Probopass and a Gligar, not Gligar,
Gliscor.
Gligar evolution, Gliscor, um, on like this team comp in particular. Like it's just weird, or would be in doubles, I think.
Yeah.
And no speed control.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot more about raw speeds, I think, in singles, right? Because like,
yeah,
you just gotta either be faster or not, and I mean, you can set Tailwind, but you gotta or Trick Room and stuff like that. But then you gotta spend a turn switching,
yeah.
or the
it's
Pokemon that sets
turns.
it. Yeah, so
yeah,
definitely different, but this is a fun one. So I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this one, and we're gonna see how this goes.
I'll try not to be too mean.
So
okay, there's a Protect. That's unusual, right?
Well, not necessarily because it
Toxic Heal.
Toxic Heal, Poison Heal, Toxic Orb, and then I assume it's gonna like this also has some hazards and stuff like that, right? But we start with a Charizard substitute.
Yes.
And then we did a belly drum.
Oh, lower. Oh.
A missed Stone Edge.
Is it over? Is it already over?
And it's done.
Is it over? No.
Done.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Singles is so stupid. Singles is so... I will not stop. Singles is so dumb.
No, this rules.
Is it not sturdy?
Yeah, it wasn't sturdy.
Sturdy. But it has sturdy, right? I'm
not. Like... it is an option, yeah.
Okay. But it was like magnet pullers, or definitely
done.
I hate singles.
That match was awesome. Electric said,
"No, because
I think I can. I'll just beat him now," and just.
But like, the equivalent of this in doubles, it's just like Haxorus killing 4 Pokemon in 2.
No, it's the equivalent of this in doubles is Haxorus killing 7 Pokemon. Like, killing all your own teammates also. Like, it's just runs through everybody. So...
yeah. Terraground Earthquake.
A well...
Literally didn't do...
Yeah.
Look at heaven. It literally didn't do any damage. Like a Steve challenge.
Yeah, it was 6 attacking moves over 6 turns, and 6 KOs. Bing, bang, boom, lock him up, put him away, get him out of here.
Yes. Nice job,
done.
Electric.
Next one.
Now
excellently done. Very fun match. Well done. All right. The next thing we're going to watch is game 1 of Daddy versus Raymond. And we're...
I wonder who wins.
Well, none of this is like surprises or anything. Ray wins this one, but I like this one's kind of the opposite of the last one, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and start it. Oh no, that's terrible.
Not sound. Never sound.
Oof, I agree. Never sound. I forgot to fix that. But we're gonna go ahead and let it start playing. Both players do a pretty good job of like working towards an end game plan. They're doing good switches. Some good Terra happens. Like Landorus is just in and out and in and out. So it's pretty awesome. Is what?
Next game, or is it both games where Porygon 2 just starts spamming Eerie Impulse? Because that was the most predictable thing I've ever seen. Because that is terrible.
I mean,
just
that does happen. Eerie Impulse is one of the moves that Porygon has. This is a play that I want to talk about real quick. The Gunk Shot into the Heatran. Predicting a Hydrapple switch.
No, I disagree. Did he use Terra already? I think that's reading a grass.
You think predicting Terra Grass? Oh, see, that's even bigger brain. I like that play.
I think the read on that is Terra Grass, like on Earthquake from Claude. I think because as a Heatran, Heatran is always Terra Grass, because good. Ground is bad. So yeah, I like that read.
absolutely. Yeah, I like it even more now that I'm like, oh yeah, Terragrass makes even more sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like I said, it's lots of positioning, stalling Trick Room, neutering the offensive capabilities of the Heatran.
Of Daddy's entire team, which is all special.
Yeah, I do have a feeling Daddy is going to have to deal with a lot of Eerie Impulsing and
I just
Struggle Bug and
Yeah, you need the right covert cloaks. You need the
Snarl.
right. Does he
Yeah.
have like self haze? Because like self
Uh,
haze is not a bad idea for
oh,
this
that's
match.
an interesting idea. Yeah, so I like this Terra
I don't
Steel
know.
here, and then keep your Azelf alive with the Pollen Puff is another pretty heads up play from Daddy here. And
It's
Porygon's
just
just so
like I
beefy.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know the issue with like genuinely like not doing a bit about Daddy's team, which is actually good. Like it is a rare combination that Porygon has, where it's a super bulky on the special side, but just in general, uh, has a special debuff move and has a recovery. Like those mons are just going to be so like hard for Daddy to deal with because of how his team is designed, where he is just going to get outbulked and outlasted by again, like there aren't very many Pokemon like Porygon too, but it's a particularly bad matchup for his team because it kind of just eats him.
Yeah. So I agree, and we're already in turn 12 of this match, and this is the match that goes super super long. Um,
Yeah,
but this Porygon too like this set
it's a smart set.
is ultimately going to win Ray the match.
Yeah,
But very close to losing Ray the match by just Terra Blast only having 16 PP. But Daddy kind of in a rough position. Like they're kind of both playing for like a bulky, don't really care who's going first, trade hits, like
yeah.
try and make good reads when possible and stuff. But this Porygon too is just so well positioned here. And
I honestly, when I was watching it live,
the Heatran dying there to Life Orb was brutal too.
exactly, exactly. I was thinking like, oh, it lived the low kick. It might actually he might actually win, and then the life orb damage got it. I was like, oh yeah, this is.
So from
Um,
here on, it's recover. So Ray is gonna spam the Eerie Impulse
Daddy
to
forgot
get this
about life bait
Hydropple down
because
to minus a billion.
skill difference. What am I saying that?
And then recover as needed. But there's a point at which, like, towards the end of this, and we can kind of speed it up here because.
Gets a crit, right?
Yeah, so gets one crit, but if any other of these Giga Blasts had been, or Giga Drain had been a crit, I think
What about
would have won the match. Because he would
what
have still
about
had enough, would have still had enough HP to outlast all of Porygon 2's Terra Blasts. And then
yeah?
he can just
But,
kind of win at his leisure.
but
Because
what about a fickle beam that simultaneously gets the 2x and the crit? How much damage would that have? I don't care to look, but
so
would that
the
have?
reason that I think that the Giga Drain crit, or one additional Giga Drain crit would have done it, is because the
Yeah, no,
Terra
it's for the
Blast was
recovery.
doing 10, and then Giga
Yeah,
Drain was
yeah,
healing 5, right?
yeah,
So if Hydrapple had healed more from a bigger Giga Drain, he would have had enough
yeah,
HP to outlast that. So a
yeah. I just wonder.
rough end
I don't
game.
think it does. I don't think it does 100, but if it did, maybe it would be better to go for the one crit than the double. But I have no idea. Just a
Possible.
theory.
But yeah,
If your game ever goes over 20 turns in VGC, you're a terrible person. And I'm saying this as someone with Milotic and Florus who intends to win multiple 20-turn games. Um, but Ray did win.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
Ray does go on to win that set as well.
Shocker.
But this was I really enjoyed watching this game, and particularly, but I think both players were in it until like turn 26, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in the sense that like you're always in it if you're a crit away and you're spamming moves for like 12 turns, you're
Well,
always in
but
it. But
I mean, Porygon 2 only had one more Terra Blast.
yeah,
Like
it was an uphill battle. But,
yeah,
certainly could have gone Daddy's way. If you calculated it, I'm probably like 30% or something like
something like that, right? But like put himself into that position to find
yeah,
like to find how he can
yeah.
what is my win condition? It's live through 12 more Terra Blasts, and it turns out he can only
Yeah,
live through 11.
yeah, and look, like also, the fact that it was a 20 turn game where either person could have won until like turn 26 is quite rare because usually what you have is like 40 turns of someone winning a war of attrition that they're basically guaranteed to win, and
Exactly.
they just have to just like sit there and exert their will. So that this was fun in that sense.
All right.
Hey,
Next up, we've got our game 2 from that we played on Friday, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start it. Oh, I forgot again. Oh, I'm so sorry to the whole world. It's terrible. So, so this was game 2. So I was up a game. I liked your adjustment of bring Arcanine this time.
Yeah,
It's very strong. Like banned
it is
banned Flare Blitz is, and I assume it was Rockhead, right?
yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
You'll see in a second. It's about to delete something and not
yeah,
recoil.
just gone. Now my Empoleon was always going to live that a Flare Blitz from banded.
Not Terrifier, not Terrifier.
True, not Terrifier, but I mean that ends up not really coming into play. But it's really these last like 2 turns, like these last couple turns here of this one are what I'm most interested in. So I do like this roar. I like the bring roar and just cycle through, especially after you saw my my Calm Mind in game 1, and I mean you knew any turn where Ursaluna doesn't get to do anything is a pretty good one as well.
Yeah. I have a pretty strong idea of where I lost this game, which I'll talk about at the end.
Sure.
In retrospect.
So another brutal hit from Arcanine.
Yeah.
So
actually, let's pause on this.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about this first, or do you want me to go?
Yeah. So I was just going to point out that like you have been like you basically had me on the back foot almost the whole game, up until I think this turn, where you let the Ursaluna live, and I got to kill your Arcanine with the Earthquake, and also do 30% onto your Florges. I think this is where the tide kind of turned.
Wait, just I lost the turn. I lost this game, not on this turn, but in prep, because I really wanted to try to fire Terra. Well, just Terra the Arc here so it could live, but I didn't check, but I didn't think it would live. Even fire Terra. I should have just brought grass or flying like a normal person, but I saw some funny fire Terra calcs and I was like, ooh, multipliers are fun. If I brought a normal Terra, I think I just stay in with Arcanine. I let Florges die if need be, or sack Sandy Shocks. I would have had to think about that. Probably just let Florges die. And just let Arcanine win the game. Like if it's Grass Terra, it is living the Earthquake. I probably still kill the Yuxi because I was I was playing for either protect or not protect.
Yeah, I mean it was like what?
And regardless, I'm still targeting Yuxi there,
definitely.
even if I am Terraing, and then the next turn, I'm like Grass Terra or something, so Empoleon's not even threatening me very much anymore, and I can focus more on the Ursaluna, and I probably win the game if I had Grass Terra on Arcanine here. So this is a game where the whole plan worked well, except for the fact that I couldn't Terra Arcanine here into a defensive type. So lesson for everybody: offensive terras are bad. Okay, that's it.
But so even having said all of that, I still think this you could have won on this turn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to.
Yeah.
You
So
go with your perspective on it first, and then I'll go with mine.
sure. So my thought is, if Ursa Luna dies, I lose. But Samax also knows that and has seen Protect in game one, so knows I have Protect on it. He's probably going to double target the Empoleon.
Yeah.
So
So
I just
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
worked under that assumption, protected the Empoleon, and just attacked with the Ursaluna anyway, assuming that Guts Earthquake with a burn would be definitely
Yeah.
enough to kill Sandy Shocks. Like, that's not even a calc I
Yeah.
bothered making ahead of time or anything like that. It just assumed it would kill.
Yeah. So the way that I thought about it was I can kill one of these Pokemon, but not both of them. Let me pick which one. Because I know they both have Protect. So which one can I kill? Um, in retrospect, it probably would have been better to try to kill Ursaluna because it had the potential to attack both at the same time with a strong move, whereas Empoleon could just attack Sandy Shocks. But I thought if I lost Sandy Shocks, it was over anyway. And I thought, um, Empoleon was the more obvious choice to not protect. Um, it was a 50-50 from my perspective. Maybe I misplayed it, but that's how I treated it. I just got it wrong.
Makes sense. Yep. I mean, that berry there. I'll tell you the lesson I learned. Don't bring Poltergeist and Knockoff on the same Pokemon.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
But yeah, those last couple turns there, I think were really cool, and we both got to make some cool decisions there. It hadn't even occurred to me that that the Earthquake would not kill Arcanine if you Terra'd. Like, the Arcanine Terraing never even occurred to me. I mean, at that point, you had already Terra'd the Florges?
No. I Terra'd it on that turn. Because I couldn't.
Oh, it was that same turn. Gotcha. Yeah. So
yeah, because I was like, I need one of these Pokemon to survive it. So Florges was the only one I could Terra to do that. So that's why I Terra'd the Florges there.
Yeah, gotcha.
I also, another way I think I could have set myself up better for a 50-50 in the end game is Calm Minding once more somewhere in the middle game. It's hard to pin down where, but the Giga Drains were just like not doing enough.
Yeah, just not quite getting you there.
Yeah. So that was another rough aspect of it.
Alrighty, so the last battle, and we're gonna watch the full set here. We're gonna watch all 3 games. This is Pancake versus Bone. This was like the second or third match played. I think.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah.
I see one Pokemon in the middle. Because I was like, I don't remember Blood Moon really.
Yeah,
I do remember Kingdra.
Oof, almost just did it. Almost just did the sound again. But we'll go ahead and get it started because we do have three games to get here. So Pancake's starting game 1 with the Trick Room lead, and this Scarf Terra Ice Porygon Z kind of just
trying to take a life.
Yeah, it just deals with this whole team in game 1. I think Bone plays this game super well.
Yeah, I mean the roar is a great thing on Scrafty. I brought it on Scraggy. So
yeah, it's a week for roars.
Kind of twinning like that, Also, I love Choice Scarf Porygon. I almost drafted it actually, to like use up like all my points in round 7 or something. I think it's like basically confined to just being a Scarfmon that uses coverage, but all of its coverage is really strong because it's Porygon Z. So I think it's actually it's in a very interesting spot right now.
That live was huge too.
That live was huge. Yeah.
Living on like 1 on the Nightshade, like it's like at 51 HP, and gets Nightshaded down to 1.
Yeah, and then that's one of those classic like the switch is coming, but you have to fake it out because if you don't, you're gonna feel like an idiot.
Yeah, and at this point, Bohm is
It's already over.
basically
Yeah,
laughing, right? Like Pancake just has no offense left, right? I mean, we've seen Nightshade,
yeah,
Will-O-Wisp.
and
We assume Trick
knock
Room at this point,
knock
and
and torch stone are probably the two single best moves you can have for a Dusclops. So
yeah,
pretty over.
absolutely. Having mega jealous of the
Yeah,
Porygon.
it's so good. It's so
Yeah, it's
because you could
sweet.
just Terra it into anything. Like you could just have all of a sudden just like a super strong electric type and just start T-bolting stuff randomly. Like it's so good.
So game one, Bohm says, "This is my game. I win this one. You never had a chance. What were you doing leading passive Pokemon into my terrifying offense?
Yeah,
Get out of
and
here."
and I think like it obviously very commanding how it went, but he also got like basically every single read right. Like there was the turn where Hunt protected and he roared the Dusclops. Just like consistently was getting every read right. On top of having a good lead, having a good plan, so it all was working and it all went well.
And then we get to game two, and Pancake says, I have not yet begun to fight." And
Yeah,
we lead the Kingdra and the Salazzle. And it turns out Salazzle is one of the few non-dragon types to get Dragon Cheer. And this
also
one's
number five.
basically over just as quickly. Like, this is nothing
Yeah,
dies. Who cares?
and also being a quad resist to Araquanid is a very underrated aspect of this game because Araquanid, well, it's dead. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's a beast, and not having to worry about that as much is obviously
so this is actually a play that I think is kind of weird. The Sky Attack and burn your Power Herb into the
yeah. I
1%
also thought
Mon.
it was weird.
It's
I
a
also thought it was weird.
possibility that like it's like Sky Attack and Knockoff or something like that, and but like even then, I would think you would still want to use Knockoff. I don't know, but um, I mean, you still get your Moxie boost. Like this is so scary at this
Yeah,
point. Like what could possibly come in here and
maybe
matter? Like
it might be acrobatics or acrobatics,
it could be,
and it's just you just get an
but
accuracy boost.
yeah, there you go. Sucker Punch at +1. Who cares? Deleted, deleted.
Yeah, everything's dead.
Still not dying. Sucker Punch finishes it off. Yeah. Two of those kills
4 turns.
going to Honchkrow with when Kingdra is Draco Meteor snipering, crit boost,
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
is crazy.
it's pretty crazy.
Uh,
I mean,
so
there are yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. There are.
There are certain Pokemon that function really well as like I don't know what you want to describe them as, like ancillary threats, not like a secondary threat, which could be like your sweeper in your game two or whatever, instead of your game one sweeper. Like a Pokemon that thrives at being on the field at the same time as a Pokemon outputting massive damage. It's very niche that you actually like get those situations. But Honchkrow is one of the Pokemon that like works really well in those situations. Quackleval is obviously another one. These Pokemon that scale when they kill things and can just take advantage of weak like state of the game.
Yeah, and having the nice priority to pick things off and then get your boosts
Yeah,
is nice too. With
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
all right, so now we've got game three, and game three I think is the best game of this set to watch. So same lead and game one lead.
It's the can you lead. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
prove to me you can stop me.
exactly. Stellar Terra is awesome. Pancake just says,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna fake you out, and
Yeah.
Stellar Terra plus Draco Meteor is just strong enough anyway. And now, like, I loved that turn one
Mm-hmm.
of from Pancake in this game three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, clearly he's saying like, can you deal with it? And adaptability, Terra Ice Beam does 83%,
but it's not enough.
but 83
Yeah,
ain't 100.
and the key here I think is that Iron Treads is faster than Kingdra. But we haven't seen Iron Treads yet, so who knows if it's even here, especially if Bohm is doing like a run it back of game one strategy. And once the Porygon is dead, if that Iron Treads isn't there, Kingdra is going before everything. So focusing the Porygon Z, I think, is a very good awareness of what needs to be killed. Because like personally, like I'm worried about Scrafty Roar because it messes with my strategy. And just having the heads up to be like, no, Porygon is faster. I need to kill Porygon, then I can go to work. I think is really smart here.
Well, yeah, and the other thing, by faking out that Scrafty, I don't know if we learned the item in game one for Scrafty or not, but like unless it's Covert Cloak, like you just get to ignore it, and who cares if it wants to roar or not. And now, turn 2, we can just Dragon Cheer, and now it's Stellar Terra crit boost. Oh well, I guess the Stellar only works on the first one, but still.
And then Bohm needs to do the speed control so that he can kill,
which he does, and is
but
now scaling. But we do still have this Blood.
Exactly, you've now given Trick Room to the Blood Moon, so I like the switch a lot too.
Big damage on the Grass Knot there.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, for sure.
And
but you're running out of turns. You're running out of health. You're running out of basically everything if you're Bohm right now.
Surprised no Sucker Punch on the Honchkrow into Farigiraf on that turn.
You can't. It's blocked.
It was blocked?
It's you can't priority.
Oh right, because it's Armor Tail. Duh.
Armor Tail. Yeah.
Good work, Pancake. I would have missed that. But yeah, so then we're down to the 1v1, gets the accuracy, and again, this is sort of the opposite of the Daddy versus Ray end game of the one we watched, right? Where it's like Pancake put himself into the position where I could still win this on a muddy water accuracy drop plus miss, and Bohm was like, I win in all other situations, and then got the accuracy drop and the Shadow Ball miss.
It's brutal. I mean, like it is really impressive how Bohm came into this game because setting Trick Room against the Blood Moon team that brought Dusclops and Hat in game one is a pretty ballsy move. Just to sort of beat that Kingdra, and 9 times out of 10, probably more than that, it works and you win. But such is Pokemon.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this game 3, super fun to watch. I was considering only watching this third game, but I was like, no, we'll do the whole series because it was 3 good games. Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for this week. Anybody that wants to get a match in next week, drop them in the weekly Heat thread. I'll do some James picks as well. Maybe we'll have whoever my co-host is next week bring one and be like, this is the one I want to talk about. But that does it for week 1 of the weekly Heat. Say anything to the people?
I guess to the people, but also just to James. Really excited for this series. I think it's a really smart idea. Something that has kind of been thrown around as an idea for a while. Happy that it's now finally happening. Happy that it's being hosted by James. I'm gonna have a lot of fun watching it. I hope everyone else had fun today and all other future episodes.
Maybe next week I'll pick a matchup to do a prediction on. We'll just do on one, something that we think will be cool, and we'll do a prediction on it.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah. Alrighty. Rock and roll to you, Sam, and rock and roll to everybody that's watching. We love you very much, and we'll see you next week. Peace.